And now the story that's just grown bigger as the day has gone on, many wondering what it all means. We're talking about Gaston County leaders giving businesses the green light to reopen despite the state's stay-at-home order. It all started this morning when leaders released this order called the Gaston County Promise. Then hours later, they released a revised version saying residents and businesses must still follow the governor's order. Our Joe Bruno following every twist throughout the day and through tonight. Joe, it is confusing, so walk us through what all this means.
Very confusing, Erica. Places like Azteca thought they'd be able to open up their dining rooms tonight, but that's just not the case. Let's get a couple things straight here. Governor Roy Cooper's stay-at-home order is still in effect. The Gaston County Police Department is enforcing it. The Gaston County manager says don't break the law, and the chairman of the Gaston County Commissioner says he disagrees with the order and will stand with any business that chooses to defy it. If you're confused or still trying to wrap your head around everything, you're not alone.
Thank you, John. Well, thank you. Have a good night.
Inside Azteca restaurant, people are ordering takeout, but the booths and tables are empty, and it's far from business as usual.
It's been really hard.
Manager Alfredo Colbero says sales are only about 40% of normal. With Cinco de Mayo approaching, he saw reason for hope this morning after indications from county leaders that businesses, including his dining room, would be able to reopen. That excitement didn't last long, because the health department called to say that wasn't the case.
We was very confused because what we heard in the morning, is we could open from 5 p.m. So I was waiting to open at least tomorrow. I was getting my stuff ready.
Earlier today, Gaston County Chairman Tracy Philbeck said businesses can reopen at 5 as long as they follow social distancing guidelines. Before 5 arrived, county leaders already were walking back the comments. During a Facebook town hall, Philbeck agreed police can still enforce the governor's stay-at-home order, but he said if any owner reopens and runs into trouble, he'll be by their side.
That doesn't mean the governor wouldn't have the state police arrest you. I can't stop that. That doesn't mean that there wouldn't be a consequence. But here's what I would do. Let me know, and I'll be the first one arrested.
Philbeck says his fellow commissioners on the Gaston County Board share his views. But it's clear the county's towns and city leaders do not. 12 municipalities issued this statement, standing together, saying their residents must follow the governor's stay-at-home order.
The letter of the law that the governor states, and he's not one of my favorite people, but I like him as far as what he's doing and trying to do. He's trying to keep people safe.
Some businesses in Gaston County are preparing to reopen, like Hollywood Fit.
It's easy for people to say, why wait? Well, those people are not taking care of your bills.
The gym does meal prep and successfully appealed to be considered an essential business by the state. Owner Darren Glenn says waiting till May 8th to open could have devastated him and his business.
So this has shut down my whole well-being. It takes care of my finances for the house and everything. So getting back open has been a fight for me ever since they shut down.
Back at Azteca, no chances are being taken. The dining room will not be reopening until it can do so legally.
Before they get our hopes up, if they let us know that it is really, available for us to open.
So, Joe, businesses can actually get into trouble if they don't follow the stay-at-home order.
Yeah, Erica, like I said, the Gaston County Police Department is enforcing the rule. All of the towns and cities are as well. And tonight, the Gaston County District Attorney is releasing a statement saying, I think what Tracy has done is not fair to police and has put police in a very difficult situation. Erica.
All right, Joe, thank you. This is actually the strongest backlash we've seen against the governor and his stay-at-home order, and it was done so publicly. So tonight, I reached out personally to Tracy Philbeck. Did you mean or intend to say that tonight businesses could be back open?
Absolutely. Our order is very clear. In Gaston County, we're open to do business. Now, the governor's order does supersede that. That legality is still there. But at the end of the day, the Gaston County Commission stands with those individuals that want to open their businesses. The confusion is the governor's order that continues to say that hospital capacity is a driver of these stay-at-home orders. There is not one hospital in the state of North Carolina that has any issue with capacity. The orders that the governor's put forward is what's causing the confusion. In Gaston County, it's pretty simple. We have an order in place that puts people to work. The governor's order is opposed to that, and it does supersede that, but we're going to side with the people. And if you want to go work, the Gaston County Commission supports you.
So if there is a business owner who talks to you tonight about reopening, you won't say to them first that they need to abide by the state order and wait until May the 8th?
This is exactly what I'll say. Gaston County supports your decision. Now, the law, according to the governor, he says you don't have a choice. You have to shut down. That is that business's choice. But if they take a stand and want to open, call me. I'll show up. I'll be there.
And if they are taken into custody, you said that you will be the first to go with them.
I'll be the first to go with them. I think what's dangerous is a policy that the governor has put in place that creates enormous health issues for our citizens, enormous mental health issues, and enormous mental economic, I would say, hardship or a disaster on our citizens. That is what is irresponsible.
Now, you point to that harm, but what do you say to families who've lost loved ones and individuals who are sick themselves about that harm, the risk of lives?
I think it's simple. It's common sense. If you're sick, if you have underlying health conditions, stay at home. That's been the message from the beginning. But if we practice social distancing, sanitation requirements, and proper hygiene, we should be able to put our citizens back to work. One size doesn't fit all. What we want to let the people know is that we stand with them. They have an opportunity to make a choice. And if they choose to open their businesses, if they choose to go to worship, and the governor wants to use the heavy hand of government to come in and stop them, I, as a commissioner, will stand with those people.
What about your fellow commissioners? Are you all on the same page with this?
Every single commissioner put their signature to this order, and I think every single commissioner supports the person's inalienable right to work.
Okay. Tracy Philbeck, thank you again for taking time out tonight to talk to us.
Thank you.
Now, during our talk, he also told me that he believes that the governor's order may be unconstitutional because he says it applies different rules to businesses versus churches. But he says that is a legal fight for another day.